This is Motorsport Radio. Join the conversation and have your say on motorsport-radio.com. Motorsport Radio. The Superbike Show on Motorsport Radio.
Hello, and yes, this is the Superbike Show on Motorsport Radio. My name is Lester. Thank you very much for tuning in. And, well, we are in the midst of talking about, MotoGP here at the moment. And, well, I can tell you that... Yes, amongst other things, we were talking about BSB and World Superbikes and all the other good stuff that happened there. Also, to bring Kiko Giles back into the show, who's been diligently with us throughout everything. Kiko, just give us a quick recap for those who missed the MotoGP monologue then.
What was John about the Sachsenring's venue?
Yes. Yeah, why should the MotoGP go back to the Sachsenring, and will it?
Old school, traditionalist, I like to see the Sachsenring back next year. I never really used to like the track, thought it was a bit boring, but it's pretty unique. You can't say that there's another circuit in the world like the Sachsenring. There's all them left-handers and the big drop out of Ralph Waldman curve. For me, it is a little bit bordering on the safety side of things. I'd like to see maybe a solution made there instead of us going off to the Nürburgring, which has been sanitised and wrecked by Hermann Tilke's design. But again, the Nürburgring is not a bad circuit. There's better. It's got a brilliant build to the end of the lap, and that's something the Sachsenring is missing, I think. You've got the chicane just before the last corner and the fast S's between the bottom of the hill. I can't remember, is it turn 6? Used to be the Coca-Cola corner, I think it was, years ago. Or the Castrol curve. If you come up the hill, it's fast left, fast right, into another left, into another right, then it's a fast right into the last chicane and the hairpin. It's got a brilliant end to the last lap, and that, we could see some thrilling finishes there. But again, the Sachsenring is just the way it is. It's the way of culture such is down there in Saxony. I really do like it. And also, it's not been wrecked either. The circuit's relatively
by Hermann Tilke is what you were going to say.
By Hermann Tilke. We were saying before, Sepang, he did Kota.
That was one of his better ones, though.
What, Kota?
Yes.
It's terrible.
Okay.
5 or 6 first gear corners. That's not a great circuit. The first section is fine if you take turn 1 out, and then it all goes wrong. You've got you did Yas Marina, again another bore fest. You've got what's the other one? You've got Hockenheim, the other German circuit. We could go there, but again, it's littered with hairpins now, and it's pointless because it's a car circuit and that never work. Yeah, just Herman, if you're watching, just retire, please.
Oh, so yeah, it's Kiko's question time, and we're asking him basically which tracks and various outrages, and how outraged is he at various things this week. The weekly question time for Kiko.
Of course, if you are German, we're not hating all Germans.
Just if you're a circuit designer / engineer named,
and if your name begins with H and ends in Hermann Tilke, not one favourable ratings over here at Motorsport Radio Towers.
All right, so let us know what your thoughts on the whether MotoGP maybe will and should, if it does, should it go back to the Sachsenring? If not, where would it go? Go on.
I'd rather it's. This is how. I mean, the one consolation we have is it's not going to the Lausitzring. All German circuits, bar the next one I'm about to mention, are awful. The Nürburgring's okay. Oschersleben, that's a great track. Is it the 8 hour there? The Oschersleben 8 hours, great circuit. World Superbikes used to go. Might not be safe enough for MotoGP, but that can be worked around. Brilliant circuit, fun circuit. Yeah, I'd rather it go there.
Okay.
Facilities-wise, it might be a bit lacking, but the thing is, if they do go to the Nürburgring, do you reckon they'll go to the old Nordschleife?
Well, Chris Middlehurst, hello Chris, asks that. Will they go there? Of course, no, don't be ridiculous. You know why. And Chris Middlehurst, race driver as well, also dipping his toe in, maybe getting on a bike as well, perhaps. I saw on Facebook. Probably shouldn't have admitted that. It came up on my feed anyway. I wasn't stalking, honest. Hi Chris, if you tuned in, if you're still tuned in anyway. And hello to Carl Stewart, says, been on, and say fast tracks always make the best racing. Not necessarily. Oh,
come on then.
Well, fast tracks, yes, are good and spectacular when something goes wrong, for example, or when there's a close fight, but it doesn't always necessarily because think about it, if fast tracks always made great racing every single time, there would be nothing but just fast, amazing, long straighted tracks all over the place, wouldn't there?
Doesn't have to be long straights though. Look at Assen. Assen's fast, but it is bloody good racing every year. Somewhere like Austria, the Red Bull Ring, what a terrible circuit. It's only got the highest average speed because it's all straight, we're connected by hairpins. Bad circuit. No flow, no momentum. Just dead. It's dead. Salzburg Ring would be better. Of course, we're not going to go there, but, you know, name me the last motorcycle race on a fast track, like fast and flowing circuit, that was bad.
Answers on a postcard. Yes, let us know.
Preferably on tweet to prefer the 21st century way of communication.
Interesting one from Chris has been back on again and suggested maybe go to Zandvoort. That would be an interesting suggestion.
Don't know enough about Zandvoort. It is
a great track for cars anyway.
I believe it's Dutch. Am I right in thinking it's Dutch? Zolder. Yeah. I always get Zandvoort and Zolder wrong. Zolder's Belgian. Am I right?
Correct.
Yeah, Zandvoort.
Yeah, Zandvoort is.
It's literally the beach.
It's an amazing Formula 4 1600 track. I can tell you that. it just is. How do
you bring this championship in when we're talking about MotoGP?
People love all types of different racing. Shut your face.
We're talking about bikes.
I'm just saying that's
and not the kind of bikes you get in Manchester on a Saturday night after a kebab. We're on about MotoGP and circuit. Stop bringing in four wheels. It's not the time or place.
Well, I'll stop bringing in four wheels when you stop bringing food into bike shows.
Let's bring food in.
Yeah.
I only bring food when it's relevant, such when I did participated in Everquit Racing's Scottish barbecue fest that we had 2 weeks ago. Very nice. Sorry about the steak.
Yeah, they're still wondering who stole all that steak. It was you now.
Was the team's best weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Bjorn Espen had his best qualifying.
More reason to celebrate.
Send me the invoice.
Right, so yeah, moving on then to Moto 2. And the South African, Brad Binder.
Wow, what about it?
Well, what about it?
History maker. First South African winner in Moto 2 ever. First time since, I believe, 1980 in Cork Ballington that we've had a South African winner in the intermediate class, which is 250s or Moto 2. What a day for them. And he's obviously celebrating his new contract as well with the team, in the Red Bull KTM team. So, yeah, amazing stuff. Brad Binder doing South Africa proud, carrying a nation really on his shoulders there. If we don't go to South Africa in the next 5 years, when the Binders will be at the sharp end of MotoGP, I'm fairly sure, then we've got a problem. Wasn't just all about Binder, though. The championship leaders struggled. Baldassari high-sided it dramatically at turn 2. Pecco Bagnaia was forced off track to avoid Mattia Pacini. The Italians not doing themselves much good. But Luca Marini was third and Joan Mir was second. So the two youngsters really coming into a bit of form. Miguel Oliveira closed down the championship lead. He finished fourth. So, yes, it is very much game on at the forefront of Moto 2 at the moment.
It is good stuff. And, good to hear about Binder's, let's say, rise to the top, let's say.
Yes, he's no mug. He's no mug. He 2016 Moto3 champion, of course. So we know he's got it. We know he's got it from last year because he was had quite a few second places towards the second half of last year. Had that horrendous arm injuries that started last year. He really has come back strong. We know he likes the Saxon ring. He was a bit of an outside bear. I didn't have him.
Question is though, can he actually go all the way and do more?
I don't think he'll be far off. It's very interesting now. He knows he can win. It'll be interesting to see if the floodgates open, see if he can win more. It's exactly what happened in Moto3. Once he won one, he couldn't stop winning. He creamed the championship. I think it's a bit late to do that now. He may be on a late run, though. We just do not know.
Watch this space, I would say,
yes.
to that, certainly. And, we'd welcome your comments and anything that you care to talk about. If there's any big news breaking, we did have some news breaking earlier on the show, which we will go back to and just remind you, if you don't remember what it was. It was good. Moto 3 then, and sorry, I should probably just ask: have we concluded all the Moto 2 stuff that we were going to talk about?
We have. I don't think Moto 2 has any more relevance. We've done the news earlier about Alex Marquez. So yes, I think we're all good to crack on with Moto Trez.
Yay! Moto 3 then, and it's old Martin. Old Martin. I'm going to call him Martin. George Martin. Hiya, George.
George Martin. It's probably a George Martin listening in, thinking, why the bloody hell are they mentioning my name?
He's not exactly running away with it as much as he had been doing previously, but, he's still on top, though.
He is on top. Marco Bezzecchi was second. The gap is now 7 points in the championship. That is nowhere near a conclusion. Jorge Martin nearly got taken out by his own teammate at the Saxon Ring, so we know that he's a bit vulnerable, and one mistake from Jorge Martin and it all goes wrong. Bezzecchi second, but it was Britain's John McPhee in third. He's only Scottish when he's not doing very well. He is British when he's on the podium. John McPhee, third place for the Scotsman. What a race that was. Nearly second, but yeah, great stuff. We knew he could do it. He's been promising it for a while, crashed out of Assen, wanted to make up for it, and he did make up for it. So, McPhee flying again.
McPhee. There you go. So proud of him, I can't even speak. But, well done. Well done, John. And, other Moto 3, I think I just saw a question regarding Sam Lowes from Carl Stewart, or Carl Stewart asks about Sam Lowes. Kiko, do you think maybe his results so far keep his job in the same team? So I suppose... he's asking, do you think his results so far this year have meant he's done enough to stay?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. Just looking at him now, actually, because I knew someone was going to bring up the Sam Lowes question. I had a feeling it was coming. Yeah, okay, his recent form. Three top tens. We're talking about someone who has got how many Moto2 podiums? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 Moto3 podiums, 11 Moto2 podiums, sorry. He's no mug. He's won 3 races. Where's it gone wrong? Maybe the KTM's not as developed as we think it is. It's very easy to start choosing manufacturers based on 1 year. It's happened in BSB with the Yamahas, and they've took a couple more years to get going again. But Sam Lowes is a quality rider, been in MotoGP. He's just been crashing too often. Way too often. It's a difficult one. At this moment in time, I'd be looking now for podiums. I think they're coming. If he can do well at Silverstone, I think that's make or break for his 2019 campaign. But so far, if I was a team owner, I wouldn't. I'd be looking to keep him, but I would not be signing anything just yet.
What do you think, if you are tuned in and listening to us right now live, is Sam Lowes in real danger? And what might happen to him? Is he in the sort of Scott Redding type situation where he's struggling?
Well, Scott Redding has got his head down, let's be fair.
Literally. I was going to find the picture.
dying to drop that in all show.
I forgot all about it, to be honest, and then you should have reminded me. I'll try and find it.
Have you been pulled down off the roof yet? You just went so high, I can't believe it. Give Steve Buckingham a ring and give Morello a roof.
The reason why I was on the verge. No, I was on the verge of actually doing a parody song about. I forgot what song it was now, but you know when you're sort of like listening in your car to various music, and have you ever done this? Have you like started singing and putting like stupid lyrics to the songs and on the radio and stuff like that, and the picture of Scott Redding with his head on the floor, going through a corner for some reason, or wherever it was. That happened anyway, and I just thought, that might just make a. But then I thought, no, it's probably just too. He might probably think we're just taking too much of the piss out of him. And he might have been right.
Says the guy who really advertised him well in the most marketable way.
What?
Saying he is thick as something, fill in the blank.
That was a direct quote.
Yes, I know that. That's what I'm saying. He's hardly done himself any favours, so I don't think he'll mind if we carry it on.
Well,
and he thinks it's good that he's got his head down at last on the circuit. Hang on a minute. Cal Crutcher gets his head, his elbow, his leathers running through gravel traps every weekend. So, Scott Redding, you're not doing that good, are you?
Right.
Leave the bullying of the British alone for now.
Oh, dear. If you've not seen it, we'll try and put it up on the Motorsport Radio Twitter and the Facebook as well.
Did he reply to us the other week?
Did he? He did. Scott Redding,
didn't he? Yes.
Yeah. On the quote. If you've not seen that, scroll back on the. It's at M Sport Radio on the old Twitter.
I feel like we've really accomplished something there. 2, 1, we've been recognised by quite a start, and second one, Scott actually typed something in English.
The meme sort of kind of like went like half viral, and it got shared about quite a lot, and then he replied to another account which we were already tagged in, and he was sort of replying to like the wrong people. He thought he was replying to us, but I seen it anyway. Hello, Scott, if you're watching, by the way. You're more than welcome to come on. A big hello to Wayne Douglas as well, who's tuned in to the show for, I presume, the first time ever. Where have you been, Wayne? Who may or may not be at Spa at the moment, if it is that Wayne Douglas. Niall Roberts Baragray, hi Niall, sorry. He asks a question, Kiko. He asks.
All right.
I'm just bad at doing names, sorry.
You don't need to clarify.
Referring to, I think it might have been Scott Redding, he is, maybe Lowe's actually. He is to Moto2 what Cal is to MotoGP. Cal is a great rider, but yet again, he keeps falling off, so along the same lines as what you said, basically.
Does Cal keep falling off then?
Yeah. That's literally his nickname.
Cal Crashlow. Okay. Let me just pull up his results.
Yes, he's been a lot better this season, as we all know.
We're not going climbing out of holes now, Lester. You just sit there. I love it when people
it's not called climbing out of holes. It's just called being balanced and having an opinion.
But it's not balanced.
See what you started now, Niall. Unbelievable.
So we have a look. Right. 2 retirements this year. Spain.
Right.
And
well,
Germany.
Not every crash results in a retirement, does it?
How many? 19th in Kota. He crashed there, finished the race. Everything else, he has been no lower than 8th since Valencia last year.
Yeah. So, Niall.
Yes, he crashes, but he's the only Brit doing anything.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. People get on Cal Crutchow's case. There is no Brit doing anything.
Well,
I rate Johnny Ray a better rider than Cal Crutchow. Johnny Ray, if he was in MotoGP, would probably do the exact same. Consistent 6th place.
He didn't go there, bitch. I don't know. I mean, maybe in MotoGP. I mean, how's old Brad Smith getting on then?
Well, he's got his first top 10 of the season. We're 9 rounds in.
Yeah.
I don't know if that speaks more about the bike, but
maybe.
I mean, Paul Espargaro decided to launch it at turn 3, start doing his pole dancing again.
Well, he is pole.
No, he's Spanish.
Has he ever been on pole position?
He was top of warm-up. That's a first, actually. We'll best get out.
I'm just waiting for that headline. It's just an obvious thing to
He's been in pole in other classes, obviously. But no, KTM topped a session for the first time since they've been back in MotoGP, where everyone else was out on track at the same time. Obviously, they've topped qualifying 1, but not all the bikes are out then. But yeah, pole to Spargo, top warm-up. And that's what that crash came from, trying to live up to expectations, trying to win the race in a lap. And yeah, subsequently ended up 3 other people's races as well as his own. Stretcher for depression, anyone?
James Young has been on. Hi, James. Saying, going back to what you said as well, Kiko, that Cal is doing better than any other Brit in MotoGP at the moment. So,
yes, are clever people who tune into this show then?
Yes, of course there are. And no other type of people tune in. Yeah, we're asking tonight. Well, we were sort of trying to ask until things started to go. The show had a bit of a high side. We were asking anyway. Maybe I've not even asked. I don't think I've asked at all, to be honest. My negligence has just complete that. I just presumed. I thought it in my head, and I thought I'd said it. You know, like when you don't reply to an email or a text, but you did in your mind, and there was like, how come you didn't reply? So I did I? I don't remember. Anyway, no, yeah, it's called dementia.
Yeah, that's seen too.
The Petronas Yamaha, we touched on it earlier,
Yes.
or rather you did. Who's going to be on it? Who would you choose?
Right, I am going to get shot at for saying this. Franco Morbidelli is the obvious choice, but people are going on about Fabio Quartararo way too soon for Fabio. 1 race win in Catalonia and 1 second place at Assen.
Sorry, Fabio, if you tuned in.
Does not constitute a MotoGP ride. However, someone and people who have seen me on Twitter over the last couple of weeks will notice Alvaro Bautista should get that ride. Great development rider. Suzuki, unfairly treated, I think that's fair to say. But when they pulled out and never offered him back when they returned. Went and developed that Honda he was on and got podiums on that. Went to Aprilia. Oh, look what's happened to Aprilia since he left and Stefan Bradl left. They've gone nowhere but backwards. That's why I feel a bit sorry for Scott Redding and Sam Lowes of last year. He developed the Aprilia. He's now on a year-old Ducati beating the factory bikes. Now they've got that bike sorted. Tell me that is not good enough for a ride in MotoGP. We're talking about someone, okay, yeah, he might have had his chance. He's a crasher, we know that. But Alvaro, 4 top 10s on the bounce, hasn't had that in 2 years. He's not doing a bad job. Alvaro, shall we pull up the championship standings and have a look where he's at? Let's have a look, shall we? Alvaro Bautista, 13th in the championship, 9th, 5th. That's his last 4 results.
Okay.
Before that, he retired at Le Mans. He was 8th. They found something Jerez. He was top 10 at Jerez. If you look where he is in the championship, Alvaro Bautista, 13th. He is 5 points off a factory Honda of Danny Pedrosa. We know he's not in. His mind's not in that properly. Let's be fair. You know, and really, he's on 44, 20. If he was to win a race, say, it puts him on 69, and that puts him in the top 10. He doesn't even need that. He needs, what are we on, 44 to get to the top 10. He needs a 4th place. He nearly got a 4th place in Germany.
I suppose it's over the season if you're going to judge someone.
Team coming into MotoGP, you need to develop a bike. Okay, Alvaro's never been on a Yamaha, but he'd never been on an Aprilia before they came into it, in a MotoGP class, and he developed that. So why do you not want that? Well, instead, you run the risk of getting Franco Morbidelli, who's not been on the Yamaha and only had a year in MotoGP, and he's missed the last 2 races, so he's not fully fit. And you've got Fabio Quartararo, who's done more or less nothing in Moto2 until this year, and even that was at Assen. I don't believe he did a lot at the German Grand Prix. Shall we have a look? Fabio Quartararo, 9th. There are much better riders deserving that ride at Petronas Yamaha. I'm not saying Fabio will never get to MotoGP. He will be in MotoGP. He's still so young, bags of talent. But do not give him too much too soon. You run the risk of having Neil Hodgson syndrome of the 90s, having to come back to Britain and effectively restart his career and then become champion, but wasted so many years trying to prove himself to people.
That's a syndrome?
No, it's not. But if you look at it, what good's giving it to Fabio Quartararo?
Well, he might do well on it.
Might do.
Just because you hate him.
What's the rush? I don't hate him. Just there's
Sounds
better
like you
riders.
do.
There's better riders out there. I mean, I don't. Alvaro Bautista, he will get a top ride in World Superbikes if he goes there. But he could go to Avintia. They're not signed up properly for next year yet. Mark Reed, yes, if they stay around, maybe he can jump back on a Honda. We know he's good on more or less every bike he's rode. And the Yamaha, I don't think will be any different. He's very marketable. He works well with the female riders. He's a big sponsor of, I think it's Maria Herrera. So that on its own is a PR magnet. Been around, got good contacts. Very, very likeable rider. Why would you not want him?
Exactly. Why not?
I feel Alvaro's being very hard done by. I've got to say, I feel sorry for him.
Okay. Let us know what you think if you care either way. If not, then carry on.
What
are you doing?
Just to clarify,
go on.
Alvaro was 5th in Germany. Behind him, let's just have a look. So he was 5 seconds off the race win. On a year-old bike, he was half a second ahead of Jorge Lorenzo, ahead of Andrea Dovizioso. The only other Ducati that was ahead of him was Danilo Petrucci, which was as well an independent team factory bike. So, you know, I've said it for so long, Alvaro, and Ed Hocknell will agree with me on this when he came on last year. Remember that? Alvaro's so underrated. If he was on a factory bike, I have no question, top 5, 6 in the championship.
Maybe he's just underrated because
everyone's underrated
he's
for a reason. Yes, exactly. He has underperformed, but he's turning it around.
Because usually if you overperform or perform well, then you get rated pretty highly.
And I think Alvaro's going to start doing it. But I think because he's been around for so long, people almost expect it now. But
so I just read a comment.
But people overlook the fact that more or less every bike Alvaro's. Let's look back through his history. So, in his first year of MotoGP, his best result was a 5th. In his second year of MotoGP, his best result was a 5th. In his third year, his best result was a 3rd. Then it was a 4th, a run of 4th. Then it was a 3rd. On the Aprilia, and this was a bike that had no pre-season testing on it at all, it was a 10th. Then it was the year later a 7th. Last year it was a 4th, and this year's at 5th. We're talking about someone who is very rarely outside the top 12 in the championship.
Carl Stewart's been on. Hi, Carl, and he, you know what's coming.
I know someone's going to shoot me.
He says best comment yet. If he wins a race, it'll put him in the top 10.
Yeah. What I'm getting
no
at
shit.
yeah, but what I'm getting at is Alvaro Bautista, people may laugh. I would not even question Alvaro getting a podium around this year. Somewhere like Australia where they get a wet free practice, windy Saturday and it's sunny on Sunday. How far was he off the podium at Germany? Let's have a look. So he was 2.4 seconds away. Sorry, but I just think that's... And he was second fastest lap. Alvaro Bautista from 9th on the grid, we're talking about, was 5th.
If you're not first, then you know where are you?
You're going to do that? Oh, there's no points for second place. Oh, but actually there is, kind of thing.
Maybe. Hello to Jay King, who's joined us. Hello, Jay.
Good evening. He's looking forward to his home round of Cool Fab next week.
Yeah, I presume that he will be. Jay King, pit bike champion of 2017 in Cool Fab Racing, amongst other achievements, of course, will be once again taking to the track, I presume anyway, at Red Lodge next weekend at the 5th round of the 2018 Cool Fab Racing British Mini Bikes Championship. You can hear live coverage right here on Motorsport Radio, motorsport.radio, and on the Cool Fab Racing social media channels and website as well. Got you fully covered. Why do we mention this? Well, because Cool Fab Racing brings all the best talent directly into BSB, and they are on the road to MotoGP. So they are now officially sort of accredited as being on that path to MotoGP. So all the young riders starting out doing well will hopefully get recognised, perhaps in their first step to getting into MotoGP. You might get recognised for being in the British Talent Cup, first of all, as many young riders already are. British Talent Cup, what is it? Well, it's already been racing on the, I think, World Superbike bill at Donington. It's been somewhat of a regular on the BSB bill at various rounds as well. And this week, the British Talent Cup, which is run by Dorna and MSV, I believe, have released their sort of shortlist for contenders for next year's British Talent Cup. So the 2019 provisional list has been released, Kiko, and they are all names that we're
familiar with.
Yeah, actually, that I will know from the likes of Cool Fab Racing.
Even you have a clue what we're talking about now, then.
Yes, of course. Jay Abel, Sean Abel. Not to go through every single one of them because the list is quite extensive.
Go on. We may as well. We should clarify. It is a selection event. These are not the definite confirmed ones. This is a selection event. Yeah. Jay Abel, Sean Abel, Ash Barnes, Callum Beach, Bladen Beddoes, Aditya Singh, Bihal, Jack Bell, Nathan Brealey, Cameron Breeden, James Bull, Rory Burnett, Jacob Clark, Reese Coates, Torrin Collins, Declan Connell, Harry Cook, Brodie Crockford, Harrison Desoy, Cam Dixon, Rossi Dobson, Elliot Dufton, Anthony Eagle, Luke Gardner, Cameron Hall, Holly Harris, female in there, great to see, George Hopper, Owen Jenner, Mason Johnson, Lewis Jones, how are we saying that? Osan?
I presume it's his brother.
I don't think it is.
It might not
Oisin Jones. I don't know. Jack Kirsch, Jeremy Knight, Samuel Laidlow, William Lathrope, Harry Lee, Jamie Lyons, Ross Maguire, Oisin Maher, Owen Mellor, Dylan Mellor, Shane Mooney, Casey O'Gorman, massive talent, Casey O'Gorman, Eddie O'Shea, Owen Patterson, Adam Phipps, Ewan Percy, Elliot Pinson, Oscar Pinson, Luke Power, Joshua Ray, another Ray. Oh, God, we can't cope with any more, surely. There's so many in bikes at the moment. Louis Rendell, Jack Roach, Matthew Rutter, Zach Siviert, Ben Simpson, Ben Taylor, Annabelle Thompson, Kyle Tinker, Corey Tinker, Logan Turner, Alessandro Valente, Cody Wagemaker, shall we go with that? Lissy Whitmore, another female in there, as is Annabelle Thomas, we should clarify. And finally, Jack Worth. That's all in alphabetical order. So
sorry, yes, kids, if we butchered anyone's names.
Yes, sorry if we completely made a horlicks of that.
But yeah, some of these names, as we mentioned, are literally already making quite a name for themselves in various paddocks. Not the least of which is the Cool Fab Racing British Mini Bikes Championship. Great to see Casey O'Gorman being given the chance to show what he can do to make the final list, and that will be good to see him and all the other Cool Fab riders as well, and it's good to see the likes of Holly Harris as well. And I know a special shout out. He wasn't actually on the list, but I'm certain that he will be probably next year. I'm guessing, and I that's how I actually got to. It was on Facebook. He actually posted the link. It was one of the riders who said he didn't make it. He was a bit gutted. I won't name and shame, but yeah.
Go on.
No, just because he didn't make the list, and okay. he'll be in the Cool Fab paddock next week, and we will catch up and maybe try and do an interview with him. But yes. For all those riders, well done. It'll be fantastic to track your guys' progress on BT Sport, because I know that selection process is all filmed and broadcast and put into where does it go on to the BSB? It'll go on like the BSB show, won't it? I'm sure.
Yes, I think it goes back on BT though as well.
Yeah.
Phone in the MotoGP program. So yeah,
or maybe both. It'll certainly be on the MotoGP.
It'll
website.
be on TV.
Yeah, and of course we will keep you up to date with who does what and who's doing great, and some such. So yeah, that's all pretty well and good. Any other comments that flooded in? Have we had any comment flood in from anyone anywhere?
Shall we? We'll have a look, shall we? Stop. Hold the line, caller, as we...
Jay King's been on, I noticed. He just reiterated what we just said there. Good luck to all the Cool Fab guys who made it through to the British Talent Cup trials as well. And James Young says he's got to go. Take it easy. Oh, well, see you, James.
Right, we should just say, before we end the show, of what's on the site at the moment, we have an exclusive Ben Curry interview. All written up. Go and check it out on the Facebook page, Motorsport Radio. It's also on the website, www.motorsport.radio. We will have a British Superbike preview that's going up tonight, shared big time tomorrow, but if you're still tuned in, get it read tonight. We'll put it up for you. There'll be a Stock 1000 preview and also a British Super Sport preview with some MotoGP content. We've got some Bradley Smith stuff on there at the moment, as well as Marc Marquez. All in all, quite a lot of stuff. Kawasaki, there'll be some more insight there, and Tom Sykes fallout from that as well. Maybe we should try and see if we can liaise with some PR people, Lester, and see what we can find out for our viewers live on the show.
Yeah, we certainly should do. It's about high time that we got some more guests on the show. I think as good as it is just sitting here talking about who we think did well at the weekend and yada yada yada,
and slagging off Herman Tilke and
straying into Black Pudding's territory from all over the EU, but occasionally we do like to have riders on the show to actually harass them as well. So if you are
just
a rider,
trying to think, where was it? I had an amazing Black Pudding.
Anyway,
I think it was at the rooms at 29 Bruce Street, Dunfermline City Centre, Town Centre.
Is that the one the place that you burnt down?
Flooded. Oh, listen to this. It's story time, because we need to fill a bit of time. Last year, I flooded the place, and when I got there, they remembered me and said, "Oh, you're the guy who flooded the bathroom last year." So we had a laugh and everything. But I was I was about to get in the bath, and I turned the tap on and whatnot, and it's not filling up. And when I was in Honduras, we stayed in this city, San Pedro Sula, crime capital of the world, and the plug. There was no physical plug. It was like you turn it and a pallet comes under the plug hole. So I thought, oh, well, maybe because I didn't have my glasses on, I couldn't see a plug, so maybe that's how it was. So I'm twisting the little knob and everything. That wasn't the only knob in the room, because obviously there was a silly one like me. And I'm twisting it and thinking, well, why is it still, there's still suction on it? So I decided I'll turn the shower on as well to try and fill it up quicker. Because if I get in, then when I get in, the water will rise and I can put the jacuzzi bath on and it will stay at that level. So anyway, I'm filling it up.
It's a mystery how you flooded this place last year, isn't it?
It's filling up, but it's still a suction, and it's not filling up very fast. So I put the cold water on, left it for 10 minutes, went downstairs, got myself a bottle of recordedly strawberry and lime, and came back up, and the bath had filled up, but it was now cold. So I haven't done it. I'm trying to work this out now. I'm turning it around. It's not working. I got in the bath to see if I could keep the water in, and looked to my right, and there's a bloody plug in there. I just didn't see it because I wasn't close enough. So trying to fill the bath up with no plug. It's terrible. And I was saying, I can't believe I've just done that. Spent half an hour trying to fill a bath, forgetting to put the plug in. If I ain't putting the jacuzzi on before it's full, I'm trying to fill the bath with no plug. What a disaster.
There you go, the adventures of Kiko Giles, if he's not jinxing riders on track only for them to fall over or fly over another bike on track literally seconds after he's he's going to win this, so he'll do well. Yeah, there, he's leading the race. He's either flooding hotels or setting fire to things inadvertently or something else. I can't think what else you've done.
Well, I think your clutch will be the next thing that goes on the Motorsport Media Hospitality Unit, Lester. I don't.
Well, if we're not at Red Lodge next week, then maybe...
Well, it may be the clutch that ends up clutching at straws.
Right, so that banal banter says it's time for the end of the show.
Desperate times.
Yes, so a big thank you to everyone who has tuned in to any version of tonight's show. And you've done really well to stay with us. Thank you very much for tuning in while the show... got on its feet. We did a crutch slow, basically. If you don't
crashed out, remounted, and eventually finished. yeah,
and we got there in the end. So a big thank you to everyone for either just pressing play for a couple of seconds just to see, just because you're bored out of your faces or whatever. And a massive thank you to everybody who is not in the UK tuned in for the first time ever as well. You're more than welcome to join us again, especially if you are brand new to Motorsport Radio.
And also live in Rio de Janeiro, Belo Horizonte, or Fortaleza, or any other Brazilian city. We know we have massive following in South America, so why is this?
I guess we're just big in America.
Did Alex Barros come on the show without us looking, or Felipe Massa give us a shout out? Or
we should maybe start contacting a few of these people. But a lot of English speaking people from all over the world, South Americans, and we get a lot of Filipino places, mostly because we spam the show to all the Facebook groups and stuff in Thailand and the Philippines and stuff, and India as well.
Vietnam and Bangladesh. And
so hello and welcome and goodbye, because that's the end of the show if you just tuned in. Exactly. So thank you very much. We'll be back, I think, next Thursday, maybe.
Well, were we travelling down on the Friday to Red Lodge?
We will be, yes. So
we might have a show pre-recorded and then put out, or will it be pre-recorded and put out live?
Don't know. I think I spoke too soon when I said we'll be back live next week. But if the studio isn't packed up in the van ready to go, then it will be probably a pre-record on the Thursday. But that'll be just so we can take a running jump for the live coverage of the Cool Fab Racing British Mini Bikes Championship live from Red Lodge next week.
Sports Radio, the Superbike Show on Motorsport Radio.